Please, we're going to start off with the Audit and Finance Committee meeting, and Supervisor Leggett, we are appreciative of your attendance since we now have a legal quorum with Supervisor Thomas and yourself. Supervisor Simpson is not going to be here, so I believe you two gentlemen will be in charge of this portion of the meeting. And I think what Jennifer is looking for on the part of this twosome is a review and recommendation of approval of the 2019 budget and the budget and financial plan to the board. So, Jennifer, I don't know if you wish to kind of add some credibility to that comment and explain that procedurally we are indeed doing the correct thing.
Sure. So what you have in front of you is the 2019 through 2022 budget and financial plan and the 2019 budget. Just a couple of items to go over with you. This is a deficit budget. As discussed in a couple of the previous meetings that came up in comments, there is no dollar value to the contract between Warren County and Warren County LDC. So that's a $50,000 decrease in revenue coming in, and along with that, there are a couple of changes. I don't want to say changes, but additions to the uses or the expenses. One has to do with a service fee for loan software. We don't currently have loan software. EDC is going to get loan software, so we will be picking up some of the service fee for that loan software on an annual basis. And then there's some additional money for collateral materials and advertising in there as well. And if you look under the expenses or uses, there is the $50,000 contract between Warren County LDC and EDC. So you're looking at, again, a deficit budget of $49,965. And then the budget and financial plan that you have 2019 through 2022 is a look back, but also a look forward from the proposed 2020 through 2022 budget. That is something that, in order to be compliant with Public Authorities Accountability Act, has to be filed with the ABO by November 1st. So that gives you, again, a snapshot of the 2017 actual, the estimated 2018, or requested 2019, or the draft, and then the proposed 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Great.
Does anybody have any questions?
Go ahead, Supervisor Leggett.
Thank you. Jen, you brought up at the other meeting about the $50,000. Can you refresh?
Sure. So there's a contract between Warren County and Warren County LDC to basically administer the LDC. That $50,000, there'll still be a contract between the two entities. We will still be administering the LDC for Warren County. Warren County LDC will, and that will be, you'll all get to see that, but the $50,000 is something that, looking at the current cash balance, the current net assets, what we had accrued in interest payments over the last 3 years, will be utilized to offset that $50,000. So for the last 3 years, that $50,000, some of that $50,000 is accrued interest that I had been depositing into the loan fund, hoping we could use that for not collateral, but for capitalization of the loan fund.
Yeah.
But in order to have a decrease in the contract between Warren County and Warren County LDC, we will have to utilize some of that interest to support the expenses for the LDC this year. So that's where we're getting those funds, the cash flow, in order to operate over the next year. And we'll have to look at that again next year. Right now, our current interest that we get from our loans is only about $25,000, and with our operating expenses, that's not enough to sustain the loan fund. So we'll have to again look at that next year and see, see what we want to do.
Any comments from Supervisor Leggett or Supervisor Thomas?
Well, this is an effort to reduce the EDC budget, right? I mean, basically.
No. So the EDC budget was reduced.
That's what the 50,000 goes to.
No. So if you look down here, under the uses, there's still a professional service contract between Warren County LDC and EDC for the 50,000.
County reduction. Okay.
So there's a contract between Warren County and Warren County LDC, and that's the $50,000 that LDC is not taking from the county. So it's reducing the county's budget.
Within this unit.
Within-
So it's basically funding and operation should come out of this particular account rather than...
So the county is not funding Warren County LDC, but Warren County LDC will still have a contract with EDC for 2019 in the amount of $50,000, if you approve that. So this is all a budget, this is all assumed that there'll be a contract with EDC and Warren County LDC.
Supervisor McGowan, did I see your hand up?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, these are kind of all new to me, and I'm trying to learn them all. But Jennifer, you've requested, say like marketing, 12,500, but the adopted was 1,500 for 2018, and then you jump over to the variance requested to 18 budget, right?
Right.
It was 11,000.
Yep.
And the projected actual was 1,000.
Right.
I kind of get confused, but they're kind of like all the same words, but I'm a little...
So what you have is, so the draft budget that you have in front of you is, we're requesting $11,000 more in marketing, and some of that will be collateral materials. So right now, we don't really have anything. We don't have any kind of a trifold. We don't have any kind of real marketing plan for the loan fund. And we have, over $600,000 that we're sitting on. So it's a plan to get that money out and get it back into the small businesses. So what you're seeing is the 2018 adopted was 1,500, and then the variance to what we've requested in 2019 is 11,000. I'm only projecting for the end of 2018 that we'll be spending $1,000. So that's where that comes in.
All right, that's what I kind of thought it was going that
Yep.
way, but I just, after looking at these the last couple of weeks, so it's really nothing just pointing out that one, but I just saw a big difference.
Right. And so that's what that difference is in there for that. And again, it's a budget, something that we adopt now. If there's changes that need to be made, it's certainly something that the Audit and Finance Committee and the full board can address as we move forward in 2019.
Okay. Travis, I see your hand up. Yes, go ahead.
When I make note that there were some extra, that there was a lot of fund balance in both the LDC and the EDC accounts, I specifically went ahead and said my concerns were with the EDC account, because the LDC account, that money could be used for loans, etc. It's another topic why we have over $600,000 sitting there not being used. But what I see is, you're taking $50,000 from something that could be lent out for the benefit of the community, and putting it into the EDC, which doesn't seem to have a mechanism to get that money directly back to the community. So I was a little surprised to see that they did this way, with 50,000 coming out of the LDC and 49 out of the EDC. 99 out of the EDC would have made more sense to me from that standpoint. But of course, this committee can do what they decide to do. I just wanted to share that with you.
Any further comment? Go ahead, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Usually we get to see budgets where it balances out to zero because you throw in the unappropriated fund balance or something.
So we're dealing with, again, go back 3 weeks or so to when we started in the difference between not-for-profit accounting and government accounting. So basically you're basically doing the same thing. We're utilizing net assets, or in your case, fund balance, in order to support this budget so we have the cash flow to make it through the year. And it's just a difference in terminology because there isn't, a fund balance that's generally used. Now, you could certainly, as a board, just like EDC does, you can designate so much of those net assets to specific purposes if you want. So if you want it to be to balance the budget, you could certainly do that moving forward. But so instead of seeing that line item, you're just, in this case, you're adopting a deficit budget, and it does the same thing. So accounting-wise, you're going to see the same effect.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there was a way to show on this that you do have the net asset to be able to offset the deficit.
I can certainly show you. I can certainly.
It's going to show up on the other financials.
Right, it's going to show up on the balance sheet that we have, that this is the cash that's available. And then I do have the interest that was accrued over the last 3 years and how that was, what that dollar amount is and how that will support the cash flow.
Okay, so Jennifer, are you looking for a motion to approve the budget and the financial
Yep,
plan?
we're looking for a recommendation to approve the 2019 budget and financial plan, 2019 through 2022.
Can I get a motion to that? Supervisor Thomas, seconded by Supervisor Leggett. All in favor?
Aye.
Any old or new business that anyone wishes to talk about? Great, we'll then jump into, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn the Audit and Finance Committee.
Okay, thank you Supervisor Thomas and Supervisor Leggett. We now are going to open our Warren County LDC Corporation regular meeting of the Board of Directors. Can I then get an approval of the minutes of the Board of Directors for 9/28/2018? Supervisor Merlino, seconded by Supervisor Leggett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Can we then get some comment, Jennifer, on our September
Sure.
financial
Under
statements?
September 30th, 2018, the statement of financial position. So if you go down to the total checkings and savings, the comment that I've made there for you is right now there's cash available to lend at about $780,925. That still includes the cash that needs to be moved over into the operating fund for the 2019 budget. And then the two other items that I have outlined for you are the outstanding payments for the county contract with LDC and the service contract payments due to EDC. So that's your accounts receivable and accounts payable. The September 2018 statement of activities, budget versus actual. Again, really nothing out of the ordinary. You'll see the contracts between the two and the loan interest that was received in the month of September. And lastly, the statement of activities, budget versus actual, January through September 2018. Just as a reminder, the miscellaneous income that you see there is fees from the spring MAP session and an account closure, and you'll be seeing additional revenue to that line item for the fall session of the MAP, which is going on right now.
Very good. I guess we're looking for a motion to approve item number 2, review and approval of September financial statements. Supervisor Leggett, seconded by Supervisor Thomas. All those in favor?
Aye. All right.
Going on to number 3, Jennifer.
So now what we're looking for is it has been a recommendation from the Audit and Finance Committee for approval of the 2019 budget and the 2019 through 2022 budget and financial plan. So this is a request to the full Board of Directors for approval of that recommendation.
Looking for a motion then to approve number 3, if we can go in that direction. Motion made by Supervisor Merlino, seconded by Supervisor Leggett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 4, Ed, are we going to review our lawn portfolio, or are we, okay?
Necessary to go into executive session. There is none.
Great, wonderful. Okay, so that, any old or new business that anyone would like to talk about?
The only thing is, again, I mentioned during the financial portion of it, is that the MAP class is going on right now. We do have a good-sized group that will continue through the first week of December, and I'll give you a little bit more detail as we head toward the end of it as to the number of participants from Warren County and the next session in the spring.
Great, sounds great. Good. All right, can we get a, Jean, do you have anything, or? No? Can we get a motion to adjourn then? Supervisor Thomas, second by Supervisor Leggett, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. We